Hi, coaches. Today I am thrilled to have Assistant Professor of Business and Marketing Guru Marie Powell with us. Marie and I first met about 7 years ago. She was actually taking a course from yours truly on coaching, and we bonded immediately. And since that time, have taught courses collaboratively, taught courses together, and she has been a regular presenter at our coaching residency programs that we have on a quarterly basis. So Marie, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Nikki.
Well, listen, I want to just jump right into it, and I'm curious because I know you have a heart for coaching as well as coaches, and you probably have helped more coaches than anyone else I know in business and specifically in marketing. So I'm curious, in your experience, are there any unique challenges for coaches who are looking to grow a sustainable business? Unique challenges in just general business development, marketing, sales, etc.
So, Mickey, just to again, thank you for having me on your video conference webinar here. Well, I'd have to say, big deal is most people have the fear of putting themselves out there. They have a real challenge around being very overwhelmed with all the different ways of getting their message out about what they're doing, and they're trying to figure out, am I targeting the right audience? Maybe I should shift and change. I found when I'm teaching those classes in the business of coaching that a lot of the students are very fearful about picking the right target customer, and then they want to change the way they're coaching, and then they don't like that because, oh, now I see it differently. So it's really trying to hone all that together and come up with a really succinct process of how they're going to get their message out and who exactly is their ideal target customer. And that has been what I found most of them when we have the way I structure my class with the life master class that I teach business of coaching, is that they are really having a challenge on, well, maybe this isn't the right way to go, and I didn't know I had to do all these things, and I don't know if I can do it all. So it's being overwhelmed with the idea of really putting their business out there and being sure they're targeting the right customer.
I remember those days so vividly in my mind. It's been almost 20 years ago, and we're kind of all trained as a coach, right? A general life coach training is our first round of training. And so it's difficult to figure out, how do I marry up that coach specific training with who I already am, my expertise, my business interest in the world. I get it. I called myself a success coach. I called myself a life coach. I call myself an executive coach. I've called myself so many things over the years, trying to kind of frame that in my own mind about who my customer is and who I market to. And I will tell you, I was one of those masters of scattergun approach to marketing. And when I finally settled on my niche area, it was so refreshing because all of a sudden I knew where to spend my time, my energy, and my dollars to go after the right clients. So I think you're spot on with your thoughts around this.
It has been enlightening to see also how new coaches are having to really now figure it out. They want to coach, but that's been such a big challenge once they have to face, how can I get the message out that I'm coaching?
Absolutely. That makes complete sense to me. When I think about, again, back based on my experience and so many coaches that I've mentored, I always think that it helps to have confidence, right? To have confidence in my ability to coach. So, I think that I need to have some experience. I need some training. And as I grow in my coaching ability, then I feel more comfortable putting myself out there in the marketplace. Do you think that that's the right sequence of events? Like, when you're working with coaches, do you tell them just to jump into the marketplace and start coaching, or do you give them different advice?
No, I think the best approach is just like you learn how to ride a bicycle or you learn how to swim. You just got to jump in, and you have the tools. The goal is to see in the process of coaching, what are the ways you want to tweak it and how you want to really position yourself so that you get your message across to your client. And perhaps when you get to a larger base of clients, you've already done all the things that you've done and built the confidence. Confidence is really the key, that
Mm.
I have the ability to help move someone forward in their goals and objectives of their life. And so it really is a process. It's like me teaching a class. It has taken me years to come up with a method that really works and where I'm seeing the students really respond and get the information. So it's a process. You're building blocks. You're building blocks of what it is that I'm best at, and what are some of the ways I can move my clients the way I need to. So it takes practice. You have to practice. If you
Yeah.
don't practice, you'll never know. Sitting in a room with a bunch of tools, it will never get you where you need to go. You have to go and physically do it. You're going to make mistakes. You apologize and you keep moving, and people understand that, especially when you're first out there
Mm.
coaching, that this is new for you, but you're confident in what you do. You feel confident. So it's being very open to that experience. It's going to make you the best coach, I feel.
I love it. So, gang, you heard it first here from the professor of marketing's mouth. It is never too soon or too early to put yourself out there. Let people know that you're a student coach. Let people know that you're working towards certifications, but get out and practice your craft, right?
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. The more you
So
practice.
one more question that springs to mind is how important is a plan, having a marketing plan for a new aspiring coach? Is that critical or maybe we can get along without it? What are your thoughts on marketing and planning your business development strategies?
Well, I look at it this way. You try to go to the grocery store with a checklist so that you don't buy everything.
Mm.
And you try to go get the essential things first. So it's kind of like having that checklist of these are the ways I can move my business forward. And it also kind of sets you up for once you go through that process, you can go back and review it and say, oh, I didn't do this, or I did do this, and I got these results. So marketing plans, think of them as ways of measuring the steps that you're taking. Um, did I try this method? Did I try that method? All of this becomes very, very important over time, so you don't waste your time in things that are not beneficial to you. I find a lot of clients. I not only coach, uh, um, actually do marketing plans. I consult other businesses, and what I find is they put themselves in too many places, and they're not being very effective. If they hone in on things and really perfect an area, then they can move into other things. That piece I was talking about earlier about being overwhelmed, if you don't have that checklist of I'm going to go this, I'm going to use Facebook and I'm going to use social media to help me advertise, and I'm going to meet 3 clients a day, and my objective is to do these things, and my ultimate goal is to get a speaking engagement, and my next goal. If you don't set those goals, you're going to be a little scattered, and then after a while you feel overwhelmed, or either you feel like you've not accomplished anything. So it's really like having a checklist. You don't have to have a 10-page marketing plan. What you could use is a 1-pager. These are my objectives, these are the goals I want to achieve, and how do I evaluate whether or not I've started to achieve these goals. You need to hold yourself accountable, and that marketing plan helps hold you accountable.
And as coaches, we should know all about accountability, right?
Absolutely, that's part of what you do.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you for this, Professor Powell. I think this gives folks just a little taste of what they could get when they join our business development Mastermind group that we're going to be
Yes.
hosting later in the year.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for your time. I'm curious, are there any other little tidbits before we say goodbye? Anything, any parting words of advice to coaches about building their business?
Don't be afraid to create a plan. Create a
Awesome.
plan before you start. Um, People want to jump in and don't get caught up in the money. Be passionate about what you're doing. Entrepreneurs, that's what coaches are. They are entrepreneurs. They have to be passionate. They have to know they're taking a risk and be aware that this risk and this passion is going to get them where they need to go. And then the money will come. It's a process over time. And just put yourself out there, use the tools that you've learned. Don't be overwhelmed. Take steps in getting it done. That one-page marketing plan, that clear definition of what you want to do. Can it be changed? Yes. So use those tools to help you move forward. Don't be afraid to plan it out. Be proactive and not reactive.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much, Marie. I appreciate your time again. It's that passion that motivates us and drives us forward, I think, as entrepreneurs and as coaches. And it also is such a magnet for business itself. People love to see that energy
Yeah,
and that we are inspired by what we do. So again,
absolutely.
thank you for your time. Gang,
Thank you.
look us up, join us for an upcoming mastermind group. We would love to help you become a successful six-figure and beyond coach. And I've done it. Maria's helped many, many, many other people do it. And we look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.